If you are a smart person with respectably high intelligence, this video is aimed at you. Unlike most other videos where you may have rejoiced in the celebration of your intellect, in this video, we will explore how your intelligence actually works against you in life. My thesis on this subject is that many smart people who start life as smart kids end up learning the wrong lessons in life. In the rest of the video, we will discuss those wrong lessons in details. With that said, let's dive right in. Smart kids tend to know well that they are smart. All the toy problems our school system throws at them makes this very obvious. To clarify, by toy problems, we are talking about the simplified artificial problems designed for practice rather than reality, which you get in typical textbooks. If you are one of those smart kids, you already know this. You probably even wondered why you needed years to finish school when all you ever did was to study the night before the exams anyway. Now, that way of doing things in some very rare cases results in success, but in most cases it actually results in unfulfilled potential. But the smart kid reasons, or rather rationalizes, that if studying just the night before the exam got them a passing grade, clearly even this passing grade proves how impressive they are. All the while, as the smart kid is getting by with this minimal devotion, their ego benefits from the constant reminders from their peers and other grown-ups that they could do much better if they put in the effort. Even if one is merely trying to warn the smart kid about the consequences of their lack of work ethic, ironically, the warning itself acts as a wonderful ego-stroking mechanism for the smart kid. It validates the belief of the smart kid externally and proves to them that people outside of them also believe in their abilities. Now, none of what we just talked about would obviously result in failure except for the fact that those life experiences end up training smart kids to fail in life. A lifetime of evading proper work ethic starts showing its ugly consequences from the time the smart kid goes to college or starts real work. Our schooling systems test us on isolated cases of problems that are divorced from reality. Making matters worse, it predominantly tests us based on what we can achieve within a short span of time. For example, if within the time limit of a quiz you can remember how to solve the clearly defined and obviously toy problems, you can do well in school. In most cases, the education system is not equipped to actually teach you and grade you on vaguely defined problems from the real world, which require long-term devotion. As such, the smart kids keep getting a free ride by cramming the night before exams and getting that pass grade at the very least. This is a horrible thing for them to practice because of the unseen penalty of not learning proper work ethics. In life, as you keep progressing to the next level, whether academically or by getting a job or starting a business, you will realize that most things worth achieving in life are nothing like solving those dummy problems at school. They often require a great deal of planning, researching, trial and error, experimentation, yada yada. My point being that it's not something you can cram the night before the big day and just win at it. You need to build up the skills of breaking down a long-term goal into aims and objectives. You then need to have the ability to research these pieces and find ways of accomplishing them. After getting slapped by reality many times right in the face, you will appreciate the art of pivoting or starting over and over again. The big problem with smart kids is that they have zero training in any of that. In fact, they have the exact opposite training needed for this. Even the kid who is below average in intellect actually ends up with a great deal more preparation for the future than the smart kid. Needing more time to grasp concepts teaches them patience. Failing more times teaches them perseverance and acceptance of the often unpredictable and unknown number of attempts until they succeed. Overall, the below-average intellect kids don't suffer the instant gratification mindset the smart kids develop during early life. And the reality is that the real things in the real world rely more heavily on the kind of skill sets that the smart kids tend to lack. Getting a degree, specializing on some skills, climbing academic or corporate ladders, acing real-life projects, amassing money, building healthy relationships, etc., all have that one thing in common. They're all more of a marathon than a sprint. They all come with prerequisites of long-term commitment. There's also this other interesting side effect of being too smart. For example, it can give you the confidence to be more independent. It can make you realize that you don't need help from others to get by. As a result, it can make you go through life without practicing whatever mental and social muscles are needed to excel at getting help from others. Compare this to someone who isn't as smart but realizes early on in life that they need others for success. That will make them practice crucial networking skills like friendship, persuasion, collaboration from an early age. Even if that doesn't benefit these kids right after school, when they may need the help to know someone to get the job, it will definitely make it that much easier for them to get to know someone new. And once they finally get the chance at some workplace, they will have all the people skills ready. But the same cannot be said about the previously mentioned independent smart kids. The real world after school doesn't care if you can solve toy problems on your own the night before. In fact, it will most likely throw completely different and complex problems at you, and many of those challenges require coordinated long-term effort from many people to crack. If you are one of the smart people listening, I hope you are paying good attention to what I'm about to say. A tiny camping tent may be pitched in hours. An article for a blog may be writable in an hour. You can hook up batteries, wires, and LEDs to make gimmicky flashing electronics in minutes. But guess how many hours it took just to plan a respectable piece of architecture? Guess how many hours it took to put together great literary works like The Lord of the Rings? What about the people who engineered the complex electronics that supports our modern digital world? Do you think it was one guy doing it all the night before some deadline? Nope. The pattern I'm desperately hoping for you to recognize here is that meaningful achievements in the real world generally need a ton of hard work from a diversity of people over the long term. I've previously made videos about how even for the talented and hardworking, our luck and external circumstances can play a much bigger role in determining our success. Given that we live in that kind of a world, why would you want to further handicap yourself as a smart person? If you're a smart person watching this, hope it made you pause and reflect. I hope this video makes you more aware about how your high IQ might be training you to practice and get good at the wrong things in life. If you enjoyed this video and are a smart person, please don't forget to show your support by liking and subscribing to this channel. You can also send this video to any smarty pants you think will benefit from this video. This has been the Scientist. See you in the next video.